Another Killer Planes video.
Down and Dirty. Tips and tricks for keeping your plane out of the shop. Starring Steve's Dirty Hands. Today, how to dissect a milk bottle. Howdy! Today, the hands are here with some milk bottles. You've seen these in your recycle container, haven't you? And then they've gone out and they disappeared. You can use these things. These are exceptionally great plastic, HDPE, very, very thin like paper, very, very strong. Increases the strength of styrofoam by at least double, if not triple or quadruple, by adding on, 5% of strength, 8%, something like that. So, this little video is about how to cut these up. If you think that this is a dopey idea for a video, turn it off now, go cut up one of these, and then come back and watch it and see how your cut up compares to mine. So after cutting these things up for years, we came up with this. You take yourself a sharp knife and you're going to cut out this handle part, which is textured. So what we're trying to do is end up with all the flat stuff that doesn't have texture on it, for starters. We cut down around this entire textured part. There is an edge to it. You can see where it stops at a little lump. Best thing to do is cut right next to that lump. Now to come all the way up to the top here, there's another textured part, and we cut around that, leaving the bottle. There are two amazingly useful parts of this thing. One of them is the handle. And then this piece right here has texture on it on both sides. And we can use this for all kinds of stuff too. So I just cut these out and save them. And I also leave the curve on there because sometimes you want to go around a curve. You can always cut it off later. There's that piece. We saved that. This stuff we chuck. All right, that leaves us with a bottle with a bottom. So I get the panel that has smooth plastic the furthest down. This goes down to here. So I'm going to cut at that location all around the bottom. There it is. All right, so this leaves me with a tray. We use these trays for this kind of stuff. We put our application rods, we use it as a rest. We use the pushers and stuff like that. So we keep those in trays like that. But you can also use it for a parts tray, or you can chuck it. All right, we're left with our bottle here. And most of these bottles have these circular indentations on the two big sides. So in that case, what we do is we cut over to the circular indentation and then down at the edge of it. In this case, there is none, so we're just going to cut it straight down. The reason for doing that at all is to get the longest pieces possible of flat, untextured stuff. One thing we do is we slice away this entire top right below this corner, leaving a bunch of flat, big stuff on the bottom. And now we have this curved part on the top. There we go. Here's another tip. This leaves you with a part that you can wrap around a cone-shaped nose. A good way to cut HDPE is to put your knife tip in and then pull your HDPE through it. And you can guide this a lot better than moving the knife. We've found that if we want to do careful guiding, like wacky cuts like this, let's imagine I want to do a cut like this for some reason, it's much easier to do it by dragging the HDPE through the knife, which is planted in the table. So essentially, I didn't do this neatly, but if you do it neatly, you end up with a C-shaped piece. And this C-shaped piece will wrap nicely around noses like this. You can see by the shape of the piece that it conforms to a cone shape and pretty much wraps straight around it, like so. The other thing on this plane, this is an F-16, we made ram air scoops. You can see that they're square looking scoops, so they look pretty nice, and they're angled to go straight in like that, and they're just in front of the fan and the bulbous part of the cavity in there. They're made out of these babies, the handles. That's the part that's facing. Right? So you can cut a handle through the foam, make the angle on the front the way that you want, and that gives us two ram air scoops right in front of the motor, which adds to the speed of the plane. Ooh. Once again, made out of milk bottle stuff. Very, very tough plastic. If you glue this plastic, let's say, to a piece of foam, it will radically increase the strength of the foam. And you can see how much this stuff weighs. Just any single piece of it that you're going to glue onto something weighs very, very little. Works really well. And there you have it. That's how we cut bottles up. That's our basic thin HDPE. You can't even get this stuff anywhere. This is where to get it, in milk bottles. It's exceptionally good material. Steve's Hands, Killer Planes. See you on the flatline.